Welcome to Make an Impact podcast, where we dive deep into the stories, strategies, and solutions that drive real change. I'm Heidi Fisher, and I work with organizations on a mission to tackle poverty, reduce health inequalities, and create lasting social impact. In each episode, I bring you inspiring conversations with change makers, social entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who are making a difference. Whether you're looking to boost your impact measurement, learn from innovative projects, or find fresh ideas to transform your work, you're in the right place. Welcome to today's episode of the Make an Impact podcast. Today I'm joined by Robert. Robert, would you like to introduce yourself to the guests?
Thank you, Heidi. I'm Robert Campbell, the Operations Director of Aspire Media and CIC, a creative social enterprise that's based here in Coleraine, Northern Ireland.
Lovely. So thanks for joining me today. I'm really looking forward to talking to you because I know, despite how you've just described your social enterprise, there's a lot more to it than just creative media. And so my first question to you is, what do you actually mean by creative media?
We specialise in 3 divisional points. So there's photography, videography, and social media servicing. And then all the generated profits then would go back into the business to fund our community TV channel that we have, which is also known as Aspire Media TV.
Which one is your favourite thing to do?
There'd be the social media aspect. I'm very creative when it comes to doing a design or going on to Canva or InDesign to create something for one of our clients or even our own brand, which is a bonus.
Yeah, brilliant. So how did you get into this work?
About 2021, during the height of the pandemic, unfortunately, I was approached by a local charity to work on a project that they were planning to create a generic TV channel online that would be driven for the community. I then took it on. It was granted for a year, and I seen a niche that basically we could sell the services of photography and videography to then put that money into the business and create a social enterprise that can help the community raise their own voice. As some of the guests may or may not know, where I'm located, there was a BBC TV show called The Estate, which was done back in probably 2011-ish, 2011, 2012. Don't quote me, I can't remember off the top of my head. But it is on YouTube. But the Ballysally Estate got a lot of negative interaction against that because they were typical BBC, filming of their negative side, like drugs, alcohol, you name it, not showing the positive side, like the community groups, the local charities, areas that wasn't great. So I sat down with the project manager of the charity and I said, what do you think of this idea? I'll take control of the community, I call it CTV, community TV channel, and we rebrand it. Instead of the Aspire Media project, we'll just call it Aspire Media TV. And he says, but you'll look for grants. And I went, no, we won't. We'll self-sustain ourselves. I'm going to sell the services, bring people in, get clients in the door, and just grow it from there. And we officially launched the CIC in November 22. So 3 years almost in the making. That sums it more or less up.
Brilliant. It's a really interesting story and how you came to want to set it up. I love that. You just saw that opportunity and went with it. I love when people do that. They're just like, I'm going to just get on and do it. I'm not going to wait for someone else to come along and do it. So you've got your social enterprise set up nearly 3 years ago. What would you say has been the toughest moment so far?
Toughest moment is more the paperwork because it's my first ever time running a CIC. So I didn't realize how much of a biggest mountain of paperwork that not only company's house want, but the regulator wants behind it. So thankfully, with a network of support from sort of social enterprises that are linked within a community and a membership group called Social Enterprise Northern Ireland, I was able to tap into their area and say, hey, I need a wee bit extra support here. Can you help? And they guided me in the right direction. So the first year's accounts was a breeze. So now the second year's accounts is due in later this year. So I'll be able to now do the 2024-25 report without having to ask questions or answer a silly question and think, why did I answer it that way?
Brilliant. Yeah, Social Enterprise Northern Ireland are great. I love them all. They're a great team there as well. So I'm glad you were able to get some help from them. So you talked about the different types of work you do. What kinds of organisations are you supporting, and what would like a typical project look like?
The two main divisions, which is the Aspire Media Studios, which conducts all the photography and videography, and then Inspire Social. It's a bit of a play on it. Inspire Aspire to try and keep them separate away from each other. Inspire Social looks after all social media clientele, and then Aspire Media Studios looks after all the photography clients. So a typical project for them, we would be more SMEs to small businesses to even the community as well as schools. My business partner is actually currently at the moment at a local school filming a production of Matilda. And that was just close connections through the charity. That principal came and spoke to me and said, hey, we've a couple of days work here if you want to do a filming job. And it's now borrowed 2 years in a row. He's came back and said, hey, can Aspire look after this for me? He's done a fantastic job last year. We had no queries, no issues, and no disagreements with the parents. So that was a bonus. So I just took it from there, just drifted along for 2 years. And he's away this morning at the time of this recording. He is currently doing Matilda, and he's regretting it because that's 2 years in a row at 2 different schools.
My daughter would be very happy. She is a little bit Matilda obsessed. Makes me watch the film regularly.
Well, I love the original film. Trust me, that and Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah,
stuff is all my area. But when he said that about Matilda, I was like, oh, I'm doing this for 2 different schools. I'm going to hear that song again for another 6 months.
Yeah, it'd be comparing them now. Which school is better?
Yeah,
definitely. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was the community TV or Aspire TV. What does that look like? So who is that just available in the local community? Could I go online and watch it? What kinds of things would I expect to see?
It's basically, it was open to the community. It was part of the project. The community TV channel, when initially it was launched through the charity, we created different little segments. So going out to the schools that had no budget for promoting themselves, we opened the door to any volunteer that wanted to bring any videos out themselves, which in this area, some people weren't really wanting to do it, but we're still continuing to try and push that through. We directed it mostly at the schools. My business partner, he got his music video made from it, which was one of our very first videos. And you can go on to it. aspiremedia.tv is the website. It's linked up through a bit of coding back onto another platform that holds all the videos for us rather than storing them on the website. Slows everything down. And as I say, it's open to the community. Anyone can come and ask to film a piece for it. We're open to suggestions. And then we also created and launched our own podcast. But it's all for more of the businesses and the community organizations to come in and voice themselves, give them a platform to open up. And it's hosted by Andy, my business partner. So credit where credit's due. The first video went well, all things considered, and I'm sitting in the background just making sure everything went well.
So my next question, as everyone will know who regularly listens to the podcast, my work is about measuring impact. So my next question to you is around how do you go about measuring the impact that you have as a social enterprise?
Measuring the impact is in 2 sides we have it. So our impact on the community through the TV channel and through our entire community supporting them. So whether they're asking us to come and do a video, but they haven't got the money to do it, or they have very little budget, that we would support them compared to a bigger company coming in and expecting thousands. We would maybe come in at a lower price, but we would turn out probably a better quality, potentially. I'll not slate anybody. Our quality is our own standard. We wouldn't release a video out or do a photography shoot unless my OCD, my business partner's OCD, and everything is perfect because I'm a very perfectionist and I will admit that myself. If I don't like a certain thing, I will delete it or I'll change it very quickly. The other side of the impact is how we benefit that community. So we know if we're doing a great job on Aspire Media TV or the social enterprise as a general, we know that's a good impact on our brand and our name.
Yeah, perfect. My next question to you is, we talked about what was your toughest challenge. What would you say has been your biggest highlight so far?
Slightly outside of the social enterprise, and it's more me, when back in 2023, the Social Enterprise Northern Ireland Awards, or NI Social Enterprise Awards, they call it, that was hosted by SENI, that I was actually nominated and shortlisted as Young Person of the Year. So I attended the event thinking Aspire Media, didn't even think about myself, didn't worry about myself. And Aspire didn't, unfortunately. It was just retained as a finalist in the best new startup. And I was actually highly commended Young Person of the Year for 2023, and I was in shock. There is a video on our social media that one of my team videoed it. As I was coming back down off the stage, I had a wee bit of adrenaline. I heard a lot of cheering and shouting, and I raised the certificate, the actual award above my head, and fair play to everybody. The whole room erupted. I could barely hear my own self.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
The entire room just erupted in a load of cheers and applause. And Kate from Radio Ulster, she was hosting, and you could barely hear her. So she was talking into an absolute dead crowd because everybody was shouting.
So you are like a superhero. So I really feel like we should perhaps go back to the beginning of the podcast again. And we're partway through the podcast. You can now start to share like all the brilliant stuff and how brilliant you are.
Heidi, I never really say too much about myself. Even at that awards night, I literally told the team in front of me, my business partner was standing beside me when I got up. They give me a big hug. And he says, "Well done. You deserve this." And I went, "No, Aspire deserves this. I put my heart and soul into this company, that I'm maintaining a full-time job on the sidelines of running this social enterprise. I didn't take a wage from this company yet. I have yet no plans to take a wage from the company. I reinvest my own personal wage back into the company. And I want elsewhere to supplement myself. So it's being a nice director and a nice owner to reinvest my own funds, my own wages back into the company I love to bits. And we work brilliantly as a team. Doesn't matter how many times I was finalist or I was awarded anything, it's all the company, because the company below my name.
That's a big commitment to work full time alongside this. There's me thinking you're doing this full time. How do you fit it all in?
Basically, we split the role in 2024. Me and Andy sat down. We decided to division ourselves because there's some strengths he is better at than I am, and vice versa. I was then made as the operations director, so I oversee all the day-to-day operations, making sure bookings are right, invoices going out on time, and ensuring our clients are happy before they join in to go to Andy to do all the photography or the video work. Hence why he is now known as the creative director, and Mr. Matilda from now on, as I'm going to call him. He's happy. He loves it. He's an actor by trade. I'm a previous automotive photographer, so my keen eye for detail in a car transpired over. I love social media for a massive reason, so we created Inspire as a new brand this year in 2025 to not only help our clients, but it's a full circle, as I call it. You know, because if someone's going to take a photograph or do a video in a business, where's it going to end up? It's not going to end up on their website anymore. They're going to advertise it on their social media. So we have that full circle approach of we can manage your photography, we can manage your videos, we can manage your socials. And it just streamlines everything. They can focus on their business. I can focus on their socials.
Yeah, sounds perfect. A lot of people don't like social media or getting on social media and being visible, do they? So they need someone like you to do it for them.
Yeah, because I've noticed that we took a brand on there about 3 months ago and we just executed their 3-month project. We went from having a TikTok video developed with them and an influencer that raised over 100,000 views, and that impacted their store massively overnight. The owner was coming to me and going, that video you got done with the influencer, even though I was cameoing in it without even noticing, I was blaming the influencer for it because I didn't realize she was filming me. But Holly done an amazing video. She edited it perfectly. She didn't need my help on it. And we had that about 100K within a couple of days. But the first 2 to 4 hours after the video was released, it was just, the store was getting nailed.
That's what you want, though. That's the kind of success you want. So there's me thinking that social media is dead and that
certain platforms, Heidi, I will admit, certain platforms are on their way out, but some are still relevant. So the likes of Facebook, Instagram, and Threads now, which has took on X, Twitter, and then Twitter's former management, they have created Twitter 2.0 under Blue Sky. So it's up and coming. So you'll notice the decrease of Twitter versus Facebook and Instagram. So
it's a bit of a hate space, isn't it, at the moment? X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people have, like, we work with one of the local football teams here in Northern Ireland, Korean Football Club. And I was speaking to their media officer this morning, and he said he done his review on social media and he's pulling out of X because last season he was barely getting any interaction compared to the posts he was putting out on social media on Facebook and Instagram. And he was tweeting live tweets of every score or every angle per match, and he was getting less views and interactions there than putting 4 posts up on Facebook and Instagram saying starting lineup, halftime, full time, match day. What posts?
I think a lot of people who experience similar, definitely. So you decided to be a social enterprise. Do you regret that choice? Do you wish you'd been a charity or a business instead?
Nope, not one bit. Not one bit. Social enterprise was the perfect area for Aspire Media and I. It was because we are community driven, social impact we give to the community, and most of all, it's my way of giving back into my own area. Spending 30 years of my entire life since the day I was born in this actual cul-de-sac estate, and at 29 years of age, creating a beautiful business that technically I was creating this business that can help and support everyone and giving back into the local community, from my own personal school that I was attending in primary right through to the other schools in the local area who were struggling to help to get their even image out there. And I've had numerous times of people asking me questions going, can I do a testimonial for you? Because you've done a fantastic job for me.
Brilliant. I think, do you find it's easier because you grew up in that community that it's been easier, or has that been a barrier because there's different expectations on you?
It's 50-50. I would admit it's 50-50 because it wouldn't be, in one side, yes, it was a barrier because coming out of COVID, a lot of people didn't really want to be involved in face-to-face interaction. They were all Zoom or Teams and remote working, whereas Aspire was a hands-on volunteer job, and they didn't notice the brand until after I get the award in 23. Then it just grew from there. Everybody just started going, oh, Aspire. we put a volunteer request out recently, and basically we've had about 5 or 6 people asking to come and join us. One actually said he was notified because of university. His tutors apparently were talking about us,
Amazing.
which was a surprise for me because I didn't realize the brand went that far.
You never know who's talking about you, do you?
Exactly.
When people come and volunteer with you, are you teaching them and training them in the social media, photography and videography?
It's split out. If they're wanting to do videography or photography, they would sit in and be under Andy's mentorship. If they want to learn, yes, we have the Open College Network Northern Ireland accreditation of a centre, so we can train them and have them out with a level 2 award in photography as and when they want. And it is a great course. I've seen it happening a couple of times throughout in other places, and we were about to run one. Unfortunately, then the numbers just wasn't strong enough to take the job, so there was no point running a course that wasn't going to impact anybody unless it was one person, which was a bit of a downer for me. I have requested with OCN at the time of this recording. I'm waiting on their approval to initiate the social media entity, which I've already went through myself, and digital marketing levels 2 and 4, which will then allow people to learn how to do social media for a brand or a business of their own.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So there's loads of opportunities there for people as well. Definitely. My last couple of questions for you then. The first one is, if you were talking to another social entrepreneur or someone that's thinking about setting up a social enterprise, what's the one piece of advice that you would give them?
If I was giving the advice to someone else, I would say go for it. If they've got the heart, they've got the passion behind it, do it. They'll not regret it. As I always say to a lot of my friends or my family, that if they have the heart to do it, why not take the risk? In my case, I had friends, fellow entrepreneurs and private businesses, and they said, "Oh, great, Aspire's running well, isn't it?" And I went, "Yeah." And they see me usually as the face of the brand. He comes with a lot of wisdom. And he said to me one day, "I am the baby face of the company." Because people come and approach me and they talk to me because they know they can work with me on it. My advice would be, stick to your guns, always do it and take the risk. If you're unsure, do it like I've done. Go in, stay at your full-time job and build the business slowly. Like I've took 3 years to see the success that I see now. And do I regret it? No, never.
In terms of future plans, obviously you've got quite a lot of different projects and initiatives. Are there any future plans that you want to share, or is it all secret and confidential?
Just the new social media arm at the moment. There is a couple of little projects that's behind the scenes that are being worked on. I can't really disclose too much on them because nobody knows at the minute bar me and Andy. The social media entity is now growing to the point I'm happy with it, that we're doing more consultancy rather than management. So we're helping businesses develop and grow their own enterprise, their own social media, and maybe don't want to give up their management control. But whereas I can step in and say, "Oh, hold on a minute, there's a niche you're missing. You're not focused on this. Can you focus on that?" And they maybe turn around and go, "Yeah, oh, good shout." And then the development of our training academy, which will be 1-to-1 and group training, specifically in photography at the moment, along with creative arts, and then the social media to follow, hopefully. And I'll do it in video, but for everybody else, it's
Fingers crossed.
move across, subject to OCN's approval and guidance. If they say yes, we'll release it. And if they say no, back to the drawing board and talk to them nicely and plead with them, because we see the market for a community social media entity that can give back to a local business to help them. So not only we're wanting to train and develop the business owners, such as yourself, Heidi, coming in, that maybe doesn't understand certain parts of social media.
I can switch a computer on. I just refuse to acknowledge TikTok that exists in the world.
TikTok is its own niche. We have our own one, and we just every now and again we stick something funny up what we have maybe got elsewhere. Like there's a video we have pinned on our top our social media and TikTok of Andy bouncing on a space hopper, and it was just off chance.
Yeah. Probably got 3 million hits or something.
No, surprisingly not. Quite not. It's using something hits on it. But it was just the most funniest video that one of the team captured while we were filming another job and on that site. And it was just so funny. Him sitting, playing with the space hopper at 50-something years of age. And I'm sitting there going, mate, you a big kid at heart. But hey-ho.
Definitely sounds hilarious. Final question then is, where can people find out more? What are the websites or social media places? Where can we find you? This is a test of your memory.
That is as good as the ones. It's easy one in my head because I normally look at it all the time. So for the social enterprise itself, it's aspiremedia.studio. And then the TV channel is, instead of .studio, it's .tv. And then we have the social media of Aspire Media NI, so Northern Ireland initialed. And that's across Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And we also have LinkedIn as well under the company name Aspire Media NI. And then Inspire, which is the social media entity, it's got its own Facebook and Instagram at the moment under We Are Inspire Social, because I thought it was a bit more of a play on its own word. There is a live chat feature on there. So if any time you need to quickly drop us a message, all our contact details is there. And it's easy. Most of the time I'm social, so I usually just answer by social media rather than the website.
Perfect. So loads of ways to get in touch with you if anyone's interested in getting more help or support with any of the things that you mentioned today. Robert, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really nice talking to you and finding out more about Aspire and Inspire Media. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Make an Impact podcast. I hope you found today's conversation as inspiring and thought-provoking as I did. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who want to create positive change. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and learn more about my work at makeanimpactcic.co.uk. Until next time, let's keep making an impact in the world.